What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, a.k.a. 1/3 of the New Day. You're not going to say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I'm not ravishing, I'm not Russian, and I'm not Lana. I'm Jem.
3 wins all round, really. This is our Raw analysis. This is where we sit down and we break down the latest episode of WWE Raw. This conversation comes at you every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to facebook.com/thepopculturist, Twitter, Discord. All those links are in the down below area. But if you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where we record this show live in front of people Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Straight East Standard Time. If you want to support us in a couple of different ways, you can head over to, I forgot where it's called. I remember now, patreon.com/thepopculturist. You can support us at any dollar value. Get yourself some kindness, because there is no rewards anymore. We took those away to do this on Twitch, so there's that. If you want to support us in a more one-stop fashion, head over to popculturist.com/shop. We buy shirts, other assorted shit with our logos on it. We are also on at Twitch, twitch.tv/popculturist, as we mentioned, but for games on a Thursday as well. And if you are listening to this on your podcast service of choice, be sure to give us some 5-star ratings or a rating that you think best suits, and a written description. And of course, telling all your friends is what's important. Buddy Watson's here in the chat, and he says, just watching AEW Dark at the moment. Matt Hardy to AEW basically confirmed after Raw. Oh, we will get to that. We will get to that, because holy shit.
Oh, I know.
Jem, how you been?
I'm good, man. I'm a little bit tired today, but overall I'm pretty preachy. How about you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. So I'm in the middle of a audit at work right now. So they're doing the sort of the yearly audit for like admin-y, paperworky side of things, which is pretty much my big role at my job. So I've been just fucking going ham on paperworky things. So it's incredibly boring, but my big bosses are really happy with me right now, because I think they said that everything's in, all the ducks are in the row, as they say. So they're pretty happy, which is rad. Now we should mention as well, we received 2 follows on Twitch since last time we aired. That was one from Drawza. Hi. Do you know, is that a friend of yours?
No.
And another one called Pop Culture Weekly. Big thank you to those 2 for giving us the follow while we were off air. And Max is in the chat. He says, hello, peeps. Well, let's jump straight to it. Let's get into what Buddy Watson mentioned at the start here. Matt Hardy. Now, Jem, as the big Hardy fan out of the pair of, I want you to take this.
So what happened was Randy Orton obviously attacked Edge a couple of weeks back. Like he has said nothing about it last week. He's apparently going to tell us why this week. As he goes to say something, it's like, it hurt me more than it hurt you. Matt Hardy's music hits me, and I was like, why? And then Matt Hardy comes down and is like, they want to know, I want to know, we want to know. And then he goes on the whole spiel of like, nobody hates Edge as much as I do. Like, but, you go before that and, we revolutionized the tag team. Like, we revolutionized that match, with him and Christian and my brother and me. And he goes into this big, beautiful spiel. You have to listen to the whole thing. Like, he basically gives us the history of, like, Edge and the Hardy Boys.
Awesome.
It was so cool. And Randy's like, look, Matt, and then just tries to RKO him, which Matt catches him, and they have a little bit of a dose, and ultimately Matt falls to the same fate that Edge did.
Being the chairs on the neck.
Yeah, the concerto.
The concerto?
Yeah, a concerto.
That's awesome name.
That's what it's... Didn't you know it was called that?
Nah.
No,
that's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like he's crying as he leaves the ring, like he's all dark, mysterious, conflicted Randy Orton. He was mad.
Yeah. So before we jump in a bit more about that, Buddy, Max in the chat goes, was that Buddy Watson or just Watson?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is so shortly after Matt Hardy did post a just simply goodbye on Twitter. So it's been long speculated and talked that he would be stepping away from WWE. He's been not very happy there for the longest time by the sounds. And also they're not sort of doing what he needs creatively. They've refused the return of the Woken gimmick, the Woken character. So it's not looking good. So the rumor mills are right now, as with everyone leaving anything, is that he may be making his way to AEW and presumably being part of the Dark Order, which I'm cool with because, you know, Evil Uno and that other guy still look like Josh and I. So I'm happy that if Josh and I get Matt Hardy, I'd be pretty happy with that.
That would be mad.
But hang on. Oh, Buddy in the chat goes, the Concerto was Edge and Christian's chair finisher. That then one Randy did to Edge was Edge's solo Concerto.
Oh, yes.
So it's still correct, but this is a solo Concerto. So then the other rumor mill is that he's just straight up retired.
Yeah.
Which is very possible. So Matt Hardy, who's currently off, yes, it's true. He's got a new little one. Said new baby, a couple months ago, I guess. So there's a new fresh bubby. Maybe his priorities are just different. And so Jeff Hardy, his brother, is off injured. He will still have to see the rest of his contract out with WWE, but I presume both of them will probably be looking at stepping away. They've had a very long, illustrious, and body-damaging career. Yeah. So it would make sense for them to take some time away. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree completely, for sure. I think it's been a long time coming too. Like, their return was just handled poorly, and then the injury happened, and then it's a bummer. But I'm excited to see if they do go to the likes of AEW, where they have creative say and they can do those things. Like, I think, the Woken Matt Hardy would be amazing as part of the Dark Order. So,
we'll always have those moments, like that WrestleMania for 4 years ago, where there was like a big tag team tournament and the New Day come out and they're like, did the whole who. And then out come the Hardys and everyone just shits their pants.
Yeah, that was amazing. I think what was beautiful about tonight as well was, like, people acknowledged what had happened in the past with the Matt Hardy feud and stuff like that. And the leader chants were echoing out the building. I was like, oh, memories.
Of course. Yeah, that old storyline. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the one where, like, Edge nearly ate Lita's face. Man, I would not want to make out with that guy. Sorry. He's gorgeous, but damn.
So we still didn't really get an answer from Randaddy here.
No. And
I don't think we will for at least a little bit longer.
No.
I think he's seeing very tight-lipped. Now, understandably, Edge is off. He's the big concern here is that maneuver is straight for the neck meat. The neck meat is what Edge's weakness point is. Yeah. But enough. Now, I did actually find some random YouTube video the last week or so. It was a doctor who was discussing what Edge had done and how Edge has been able to get back into the ring. So they explained about how we had the neck fusion and what the impact of that fusion is, and then explained how, with particular processes and these other possible surgeries, Edge could have made a return. Man, that guy's had some work. And literally 1 in a million possibility to get back into ring shape. It's absolutely astounding that Edge has been able to return, period.
That's so exciting.
Because they talk about like the exact match that it all sort of really started. It was a match with, I think it was one of the Dudleys, if I remember right, where he just gets dropped onto a ladder, and you see him get the whip, and then according to Edge, that was where he hears this big crunch, a big popping sound, but not from the ladder, and then he proceeds to get tingliness and numbness in his hands, and that's the surefire shot that you've done something to your spine or your neck. It's very, very concerning, but I do still think that we're going to get the Randdaddy Edge match at Mania, and I think a little time away with Edge, even though if he's off repairing his injuries, will just make that anticipation more. And then when he does come back and proceeds to kick the living fuck out of Randy Orton, I think we'll all be happier for it.
I agree completely.
Let's have a look at the list. What else has happened that was awesome? I don't know. How about Shayna Baszler rocking and fucking biting Becky Lynch?
What was with that?
All right.
Is Shayna Baszler what's been hiding in Eric Rowan's little case?
Oh, I fucking hope so.
Is this
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I think it is.
All right, so for context, this week, Becky did have her Raw Championship match against Asuka, which was
vicious match.
Ripper match,
so
by the
good.
way. Absolutely killer match. But then as the pin gets, it goes down. Becky comes out the victor, unsurprisingly. Shayna Baszler comes out of nowhere and just proceeds to clutch. It's not the Coquina clutch because that's
California
Joe's.
clutch.
It's something clutch. It's almost the exact same.
Pretty sure it was the California clutch.
Sure, we'll go with that. That sounds good. With the Cali clutch, she then proceeds to choke out Becky, but doesn't choke Ripley, just kind of just throws her into the mat. Then proceeds some ground and pound action, and then just takes a chunk out, removes her signature mouth guard, then proceeds to go to Chowtown on Becky's neck, and there is blood everywhere.
I know why she's mad, man. She's just a little hangry. She needs something to eat. She's fine now.
Just give her a Snickers. She's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's all that dog food from under the ring?
But it was because it's interesting because she's always worn the mouth guard, right? Which is already enough because with the very deep black eye makeup she wears, plus the black mouth guard, there is this look of fuck. It's just kind of almost like a sunken in sort of face. It's very quite scary. And then for her to remove it and show these fucking hag tooths and then just joosh.
Yeah.
Kind of scarier.
Yeah.
You and I have both predicted, Jem, that Shayna would make her way to Raw at some point. Do you think this is it? Do you think this is the call up?
Yeah, 100%.
She's got a new shirt.
Yeah, she sure does.
New shirt means moving on.
Yeah, new persona means moving on. Biting people, she didn't do that.
Yeah, chomping.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hung out in NXT too long with Ciampa. She's like, I like that, mate. I'm going to start chomping people. Old Watson in the chat goes, knowing WWE, they will run a vampire angle.
Oh, most likely.
Look, it's possible. I think it's just showing a veracity that she has, just a sort of unkept. I'm trying to think of the right word here. I can't say beast because that's somebody else, but she's just this relentless animal. But I can't say that either because that's Batista.
Yeah, but no.
It's very difficult. There's all words are taken. She can be the mongoose. Has there been?
She can be the mongoose.
And she's the rabid mongoose of Raw. Has anyone been the mongoose yet, Jem?
No, but she's the mongoose.
Cool. Do mongoose even bite?
I don't know.
Fuck, they do now.
Raccoon. She can be the raccoon.
The raccoon.
Black
she has the big black eyes. Yeah, but I feel uncomfortable calling her the raccoon. Look, here in this country, we have very limited concern about that word because we have a cheese named a racial slur. So I refuse to call this woman a raccoon.
Let's call her the trash panda then.
The trash panda. Shayna, the trash panda. The trash panda Baszler. She comes in there. She steals leftover lunches and bites you. Gives you rabbies.
Rabbies.
So Becky is full of the rabbies now, which sucks.
But yes, obviously she's getting taken out, and I think the funniest thing she said, I cacked myself so hard, was as she's walking away, they're we need to get you to the hospital to get checked, and she's like, it's just a flesh wound. I'm like, oh, that's
it's just a flesh hole. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's from Monty Python.
I'm aware of it.
Arms off.
I'm aware of it. Not just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
I'll just kick at your shin or whatever it is.
Yeah, come back here. I'll bite you. I'll bite your legs off. Shayna went for the wrong spot.
But it's an interesting move though. Very interesting move. That's how you make a fucking debut. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Becky's like, as she's like, all right, fine, I'll go to the ambulance. And like, they try to get her in the ambulance and she shoves everyone away, kicks the door closed, pulls the driver out, gets in the ambulance and drives off herself.
Yeah, she just GTAs herself to the hospital.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is she doing? Where is she going? And then lo and behold, she comes back later in the night and she's like patched up around her neck and she comes barreling down to the ring. And it was really, really cool. And like, one thing that I love about Becky Lynch is, like, at the moment, she's been champ for a long time. I'm kind of bored of her until she opens her mouth.
Yeah.
And whenever she says anything into the microphone, there is so much passion and there's so much, like, you feel it too. And, like, it's just, like, you get riled up for her, you get mad for her. And, like, the way she chooses to, like, stutter certain words and stuff like that, like, you can just... Oh no, she's just perfect on the microphone and just speak to me always in an angry tirade after getting bitten.
It's the accent that helps, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. That very vicious accent, but beautiful. And again, just a heartfelt. Like she's like, I don't have any debts to collect with you. I just want to beat the living shit out of you.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to need to see. So for the longest, for the big stretch, we have seen we've seen Becky sort of be vicious, but not be the viciousness that made her the man. And I think that's been one of the biggest shortcomings of her title reigns, especially when she was Becky two belts, is that we've lost a lot of that impact, right? And it all, and ironically, it all started when she proceeded to bleed her face out. Mm-hmm. So in some symbology, she can't look in front of her because she'll get her nose broken in, and she can't look behind her because someone will chomp it. Someone's chomping behind her. It's blood all around.
Oh, crazy!
It's a good time. I'm really excited though to see what Shayna can do.
Yeah, I am really hyped for this. I think it's something that's been a long time coming, and I think it's something that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, we really should have I guess sort of seen it coming. So we do have Portland NXT Takeover Portland coming up next week, which we will be covering. I'll be doing a special episode with a friend of the show, Ghost in the Machine.
Yay!
So we're chatting about NXT Portland. Having Shayna not on that card at all should have been a sign.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so that's cool. But what do you think this means for the other remaining MMA horsewomen with Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke? Because they never made it to NXT. They stayed within the Performance Center. They would rock up occasionally as her lackeys or her hands. Do you think they come with her? Do you think they stay back? Do we see them at all? I
don't think we're going to see them.
I agree. I think they'll be very. I think they'll be staying down in Florida way because they're certainly not ready for main event main roster.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Speaking of someone coming up from NXT, but not really, I guess. Angel Garza. So with Andrade out of the picture for a little while from that hammerlock DDT into the concrete, we've had Zelina working with Angel Garza. So this started last week, and it did continue a little bit into NXT last week. But yeah, it goes a little bit further with Angel Garcia having a match against Apollo Crews. So it's this weird line of, is he called up? Is he here while Andrade is away? Where does it stand?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's only a momentary thing. I think that's just going to be like one of those, pop him up there, give him a good look, bring him back down as like the Baron Corbin of NXT type sort of thing. I think maybe that's where they're going with this. I don't think he's going to be a permanent addition to the main roster. In saying that, does this mean we may see Zelina Vega going back and forth as well?
So Zelina did not appear in the episode of NXT from this week, but as you mentioned, taking a good look, he did. Angel didn't make a clear aim to present that he is a man's man, the man, the ultimate man. He's not just the man. He's the ladies' man. Then proceeds to de-pants at one point, and then be all good looking. As a lady here, Jem, are you drawn to the Angel Garza? Because as a man, not really feeling it.
Nah.
No, not doing it for you?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, he's not really your type, is he?
Nah, nothing against him. He's an attractive dude, but I'm not, oh my God, Humberto Carrillo over him.
You're not Carrilloing over him, but
No.
But
No, his cousin looks better.
You won't even have a little. Make a joke about a glance, but a Gaza glance, I got nothing. But that's all right, because like that's the big thing.
Gaze,
So look,
yeah.
in our very small sample size, Angel Garcia, you're in fact not a ladies' man.
Gaza.
What'd I say?
Garcia.
God damn it!
You're racist.
Accidentally racist. So he had a match here with Apollo Crews that didn't seem to happen. Because after this little promo where he's initially by having a chat with the crowd, being like ladies man, Carrillo comes in, they bust about for a while.
Carrillo gets carried out.
Yeah, he gets escorted, and then ding ding ding, while Garza's like huddled in the corner, Apollo Crews runs in and gets some punch on.
Yeah. Garza does end up winning the match. I did not see the point when his pants came off.
Yeah, it's randomly de-pantsed. It's like he almost like stripped them, just like whoosh.
Wow. Oh, those pants were something, and he claims he's a man's man. Anyway, he sure is a man's man. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens. What happens when Andrade comes back? Like, does Angel just disappear?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? I don't know. I don't think I really care, but I'm kind of slightly interested.
Yeah, because I personally, I have no stance in this dude at all. I do feel that he is Andrade light, or sort of Carrillo light. That's the plan right now. Is have him in here, keep Humberto on television while they wait for Andrade to recover.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Make Humberto look
But
strong.
it looks like he will be back for the Super Showdown. So next week he'll be back. Or is it the week after?
Super Showdown's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. There you go. So Andrade's got a couple of weeks on him, or at least expected to return at that time.
Yes.
Which is all well and good. So you can only presume that means Carrillo will be pushing again for that United States Championship.
Likely.
I feel that. I very much feel that is where it is heading as well.
Yes.
Once again, let's talk about some NXT stuff. Riddick was once again joining Mojo Rawley in the ring.
Yeah,
this time he had a match, a tag team match against the Street Profits.
Street Profits. I was so excited. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Anyway. I have to bring the swag like nobody can. I really like it.
It's better than... Yeah, it is. It's a catchy as shit intro, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I really just like how Montez's little walk as he does that out. Granted, I was getting food off the barbecue this evening, and as the music kicked in, I did a little bit of a walk across the back porch. I'm not gonna lie.
I was listening to After the Bell with Corey Graves, and he had Bianca Belair on the show last week, and she was saying how Montez is crazy. She's he's proper crazy. She's just so crazy, and Corey's you mean that's a really nice way of saying that he's really exhausting. And she's she laughs about it, and I was yeah, he looks like he'd be a lot.
He'd be a lot of effort.
She's most wrestlers, you see one thing in the ring, there's somebody else behind the scenes. She's nah, he's like that on stage, he's like that at home. He doesn't walk through our house, he jumps through like that with a cup in his hand.
I did like that though. I saw some clip of them. They're waiting outside a hotel and it's all snowy, but he's still got a cup in hand dancing around. I'm does he ever put that cup down?
Yeah,
and I guess not. Only when to have a wrestling match. So it's very quick match here against Rowley and Riddick, which is to be expected because it's just two randos. Although Rowley at the time was the 24/7 champion, he's sitting there toting that to the Profits as if it's some sort of badge that should be respected. And right now that belt means less than anything.
Yes. And even more so now.
So the pin did go to the Street Profits on Riddick. So as a result, they sort of hightail into the crowd as they do. But Mojo Rawley and Riddick were what's going on? Next thing,
Mojo's pissed.
1, 2, 3.
Little roll up.
Riddick is now your 24/7 championship holder, man. Which you can presume he's taken that bad boy to NXT.
Yeah, we can only hope. That would be mad to see it going around NXT as well, to be honest with you.
It would be a good way to bring it all together, but I do think NXT
Yeah.
is slightly better than the 24/7 Championship. You know what I mean? Like, it is kind of a joke title, and they don't really have that jokey shit down there.
I think it'd be fun, even for just a couple of weeks. Like,
Excuse me,
I think yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool to sit down there, because one thing that we're seeing a lot is that blur the lines between all three brands. We saw that again here today with the continuation of the Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley story. So in short, 2 weeks ago, last week, Charlotte Flair came out to the ring to announce who she would be announcing to take on at WrestleMania with her Royal Rumble opportunity. She didn't specify neither the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship. She just said a championship. And then, as we kind of nicely predicted, she started putting her eyes on Rhea Ripley. So she had made her way to NXT last week.
Well, other way around, Rhea called her out.
That's
first,
very true. Sorry,
my
my bad. Yeah, and then she made it down to way to NXT, still providing no answer on that show. So Rhea has made her way back to Raw to claim her answer. Like, I'm here. Yeah. I want my answer. Give it to me now. I don't wait.
Basically, yeah. And she's having a little interview with Charlie Caruso, and Sarah Logan comes walking up, and she's like, who the hell are you? Do you think you are to come to Raw and think you can just show up here and take over? Like, who do you think you are? And Rhea's like, Rhea Ripley, who the hell are you? And Sarah cracks the shit.
I laughed really hard at this personally, because even though I like Sarah Logan, it is that situation of who the fuck is she? Like, I know who she is, I know her history, and I like it. And it's good to see her on TV, especially with, like Ruby and stuff, getting some time we'll get to in just a moment. But in short, Sarah then comes out, challenges Ripley, to do something. Goes to the machine, speaking of. Sorry, got stuck with a client. No worry, because he's working right now. So, no matter, do your job, man. You gotta make that hustle. You gotta make the money.
Exactly.
But yeah, she does say poor Logan as well. It does suck. It is a bummer. But it's good to see her on the tellies.
Yeah. I did absolutely love that the entire time Rhea was just manhandling Sarah Logan. She was staring down Charlotte, because Charlotte came out to watch, just staring her down at every chance, pulling a Drew McIntyre.
She did pull a bit of a Drew. She got her in a deep penetrative fucking pin at the end there. She's
oh yeah,
lady balls deep in Sarah Logan for that pin, and just moving the leg out of the way to eye off Charlotte. It was intense. It was intense. Ghost is also she has such a great look, which she does. I have an incredible heart for Sarah Logan. I think I do really like her look. I dig the Viking style. I like that she does not wear makeup, apart from any face paint, which is different. Because there was that there's a great story actually where she had a discussion with Vince McMahon. She walked up to Vince and she's like, I don't want to wear makeup for these reasons, and Vince goes, sure, all right, done.
Oh wow.
So it's a great story. It's a great story because originally there is that belief that if you are a women performer that you must meet these certain standards or that. She's like, I'm not doing it.
Well, yeah, there used to be back in the day. For instance, I've read Lita's autobiography, and part of your contract with WWE was you had to have a breast augmentation.
Yeah, back then it was very much so.
So yeah, it's not beyond them to have very restrictive sort of rules, but it's good to know that Vince McMahon's just fine.
Well, I think it's one of those things of cool. Which is this weird situation. So Vince always talks about how he likes people that take that initiative and come and talk to his face and grab the ring or grab the brass ring, as he said in a couple of some interviews. However, with the likes of Matt Riddle right now, who's doing exactly that, he seems to have this giant issue. But where Sarah's taking the initiative to come here and be like, "Hey, I don't want to do it." He's like, "No worries." Which is cool. Ghost put her in with her husband and the Raiders as their manager. This is where we thought they were going to go. We mentioned this a little while, way back, right when Ruby sort of was off and they had the brand split and they went either way. I was positive. We were positive that she would hook up with the Raiders and create this little trio. But sadly, that hasn't been the case. She spent more time on the main event, just fighting Dana Brooke mostly, which is a real real bummer. And Ghost also he's a real big Sarah Logan mark apparently. Sarah Logan is probably my biggest crush on the whole roster. I do. Look, Alexa Bliss is my number one. I don't know why. I find her incredibly attractive. And then Sarah Logan is shortly after. Something about it. And I totally get it. I totally get where Grace is coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But every time I've seen her in a Rumble, I get really excited. Not in that way. Calm down, Jen. But yeah, so in short, Ripley just like decimates Logan, keeps those eyes on Charlotte, still no answer, but we know this is happening. Because Charlotte brings up a good point. She goes, well, with NXT TakeOver Portland, as I mentioned at the start of the show, which we will be doing a special episode with that very own Ghost in the Machine over there. She goes, well, what if you lose it to Belair this weekend? Then what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to agree to that. I want to fight Belair. I want to fight you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting. So there's certainly a concern as we head into to TakeOver Portland. Now, Jem, do you see Belair coming out with the belt here?
No, not yet. I think while Ripley is feuding with Flair, I think that Belair is going to build herself up more. You know, she's only just come out of the Royal Rumble on top. Like, I'm pretty sure she spent the longest time in the ring.
And most eliminations.
And she had the most eliminations, yeah.
Well, tied with Shayna, but yes.
Tied with Shayna, yeah, at 8, I believe.
Correct.
So, yeah, with that happening, I think they need to separate Rhea for a little bit and bring that spotlight to Bianca Belair. And then I think Rhea is going to, like, after Mania, like, lose it.
Yeah, I do see it going to Belair, but just not right now. I think... Yeah,
and I don't see it going to Flair.
With the fire that is currently behind Ripley, I do see her making her way to the main roster very, very soon. Because think about it, in like one of her first-ish year at NXT, she's then NXT main because I think she was in NXT UK for a little while.
She was in
UK.
So
the second that she's come to NXT main, she has then won a championship, led a War Games team. Led the Survivor Series team, is now getting a WrestleMania match with a fucking legend. She's had an absolute banger of her first year on NXT main. What an absolute champion. So I do think after...
I 100% think she's ready for the main roster and the spotlight.
I agree. And I'd say after WrestleMania, there may be some stumble and she will lose that championship. And then she's like... But it'll be one of the situations of, I didn't even care. And then she just goes to main roster and starts wrecking shit.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly that.
Yeah.
Right. But as we mentioned with this feud with Sarah Logan, let's keep that flow going with the Riot Squad. And let's chat about Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. Jem.
Yeah. So we see Ruby Riott have a little interview backstage, and she's asked, why'd you do this to Liv? And she's like, oh, Liv Morgan, she used to be my best friend. She used to, follow me, rada. And she's like, basically her whole spiel is that like Liv Morgan's pretending to be this strong independent woman who doesn't need anybody, but I'm going to show her that she's a sheep. And I am the leader and I always will be the leader, and when she strikes it'll be because I told her to. Looking absolutely fabulous, by the way. It is very evident that Ruby has had some facial reconstructive surgery since she's been away.
Oh really?
Yeah, so did you not notice she had a cleft lip?
No.
Yeah, so she had a cleft lip. She's had that repaired, so she's had her nose and her lip fixed.
Did she still got a honking schnoz?
Yeah, she's still got a honking schnoz, but it's gorgeous. Like her face is just beautiful.
Yeah. It's almost like she's like it's almost like the longer hair is even though there may have been work done. That's big speculation, but it also she may have lost some weight. She may have or gained some weight. I don't remember what she looked like, and maybe the longer hair helps shape her face differently. The coloring may shape her face differently. There's a lot of different things that could play the role. Look, she may have. I just want to jump.
Yeah, no, she gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. She had like the green hair with the matching green eyes and lipstick and stuff like that, beautifully put together.
Coming from a woman currently wearing green, so
well, no, but yeah, she looks absolutely stunning. She looks super, super confident within herself, and she some new piercings it looked like too, actually. It looked like she had a top lip pierced. She's looking absolutely gorgeous. I'm really interested to see where this is going to go, because obviously we know at the moment Liv is in a dead-end situation. So I think this will be...
I think this is the transition for Liv out of that Lana setup.
100%, and I'd be interested to see if this is going to come full circle and lead back to a Riot Squad reunion.
I would like to see that, because I think that's I think especially as we are having less and less teams within the tag team picture, I think Riot Squad certainly should have deserved that title if it existed, you know, 2 years ago, whenever, you know, a year and a half ago.
100%.
It would have been much, you know, within that thing. So, two questions in the chat, both from Ghost. Ghost asked, Jem, who is your crush? Why not Randy Orton?
Oof.
Is it still Randy Orton?
I have so many crushes.
Look,
if I have to go with my all-time, like ever since his debut, when the first words he ever spoke in the WWE were ruthless aggression, and he had like bleach blonde hair and little red shorts, John Cena. Always and forever. He will always and forever be my WWE husband.
So John Cena is your number one?
He's my number one.
I bet you had lady crush.
My lady crush is always going to be Lita. But right now, right now, I think I have a huge heart-on for Ruby Riott. I have a big old crush.
Yeah,
on her right
one of
now.
my friends at work, one of my
Liv
fellow
Morgan.
employees, he did the same thing. He's like, because he has a big soft spot for Seth Rollins. And then he turned to me after watching a little bit. We watched a little bit of Raw with some clients on Tuesday. I had a meeting, so I missed most of it. But this is when we saw the Ruby Riott session. He looked at me and goes, I suddenly have this thing for green. I don't know what it is. It's just something about green.
Oh, she's a bag.
In terms of dudes, let me think. Who kind of does it for me? I don't know. Like
McIntyre's doing it for me.
Yeah, he goes alright. Like, Finn Balor's got a weird head, but his body is just actual muscle. It's really fucking weird. And he always proceeds to, like, you know, flash his front area when he gets onto the ring. So that's the one thing I've never really considered who my dude would be. Because look, fun fact, that's one of my fun games to play with. When I meet new people, one of the funnest games to play is Celebrity Outs. And the answer, like, that's the whole idea. If you're having if you had a partner and you had if celebrities were present and they requested you for a intimate encounter, what are the two celebrities that you would pick that your partner would be like, that's fine? So the idea would be like, you know, and then the best part of the game is you pick a guy and a girl, because you can learn a lot about people from their answers. And like with Jem, you know, your answers of Ruby Riott and Lita say a lot about you and the kind of like women that you like or women you idolize. You know, same goes for any other celebrity answers, because it's a good quiz if you want to like get to know some people you work with, or people who your friends are, because when you have to pick a guy and a girl, you know, it's interesting. Very few dudes will be like, that guy, he's really attractive, I really like him. So that's fun. You get to, if you find someone that's like, oh no, it's this dude, like instantly, you're like, all right, you're cool, I like you, you're fun.
Yeah.
So Ghost has a question in regards to that though, because he says Cena is so white bread, and Ruby Riott is the exact opposite. So why Cena?
Because I don't know what it was. I think back when I was a kid at that age, I was into like the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena. So like the baggy t-shirts and the baggy jeans, shorts or jeans. Like that was the kind of guy I was into back then. And it just sort of like, I'm always going to have a soft spot for that. And then he like grew up into this very dapper gentleman. And I'm just like, you know, that's the guy I'm into now. So it's, yeah, I think that's it. I don't know why. I just always loved John Cena. I can't explain it. It's just, deal with it. You know what it is? It's because I can't see him.
That's true. You never see him. You never see him when you want to.
Because I've never seen him.
Champion Game is. Oh, sorry. What was that? Sorry.
I said I don't even know what he looks like.
Couldn't
I can't see him.
It's the idea of John Cena that's better. It's Champion Gamers in the chat. It says, calm the pop. And he also adds, so Ghost also adds that Shotzi Blackheart got him into green.
Ooh, yes.
See, while we do the rest of the show, I'm gonna have to think about my men. I need to think about this right now. So I've actually never considered it. Like Alexa Bliss and Sarah Logan delivered such a response in my chest, like heart flutter responses, that it was very easy to work it out. And I think I've had that response with some dudes, but I don't know who. Ghost says Otis. Otis is very possible, because I think he would hug very kindly.
I think so too.
Let's see. What the fuck were we just talking about before we got really distracted?
I don't
Ripley?
remember.
Ruby Riott.
I think so.
Ruby Riott and Liv. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Oh yes, about them returning, possibly take on the championship, because 100%, as I said a moment ago, they 100% would have deserved those tag titles back in the day. And it's about time we get some more tag women in this.
Yes.
Make these belts be something. Damn shame that they're doing nothing right now. Speaking of, a weird almost doing. That's bad. We'll work with that.
Pretty much doing nothing.
Speaking of doing nothing right now, Aleister Black.
Yeah.
So
he's doing the same thing every week, which is nothing.
Yeah. So he has a quick match against Akira Tozawa. Once again, thank you. It's not a rando. Much appreciated. Kicks the shit out of him pretty quickly. And then he has a little chat about the people. Yeah. So kind of a repeat of last week. I still felt it. I enjoyed it. But I'm also a black mark right now. Like, I'm really in a... Like, I really dig him as a character. Not in that way. I'm going to let you chat about this match quickly while I pull up the list of male superstars.
Yeah. Well, no, I just thought of a really good segue for this because, basically Aleister Black's whole speech was like, I'm coming. And you know who else has I'm coming as their intro? MVP.
Oh,
so
nice one.
The
there
VIP
you go.
match.
All right. Well, because there's nothing to add about Aleister Black, and I've known nothing about MVP, so you can dance that segue and let me know.
So MVP comes back with his episode of the VIP Lounge, which I don't even ever remember happening, but okay. After a 10-year hiatus. And his guest is Drew McIntyre. And McIntyre comes down and there's VIP guards at the ring thing, and they're like, hold on. And he just shoves it over and storms in, and MVP is like, yo man, I've known you a long time. You deserve this. But I don't really think you're ready just yet. And basically puts out this whole spiel. Basically saying, hey, I'll be your business manager. And Drew McIntyre's like, hold on, you want to be my business manager? He's like, first of all, I can think for myself. I don't need somebody else to do it. It's like, second of all, I can speak for myself. I don't need anybody to do it. And I don't need a business partner or a business manager. I don't need a Paul Heyman. I can take care of myself. And then, they get into a bit of a scuffle, and MVP gets Claymore kicked. First he gets Glasgow kissed, and then Claymore kicked over the chair and stuff like that. Beautiful.
It was pretty good. Ghost also adds, unless MVP comes out in his inflatable tunnel, I can't get on board.
Yeah.
What is this?
MVP was a really good heel back in his day, and it's just, I don't know.
See,
I thought he was only back for Mania weekend. It looks like he's going to be around a bit longer.
So the difficulty here is I have no idea who this gentleman is, nor his legacy, because he is not a Hall of Famer by any stretch. So I just don't know where or how to feel.
See, my question is, it never would have happened, but what if it did? What if Drew McIntyre was like, okay, let's go, and took on MVP as his... What would happen? That would be the weirdest shit.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I certainly don't see it happening. And,
no, neither do I, but I'm kind of curious. Somebody make a side sitcom. I want to see this.
Can I also put it out there? How effing face right now is Drew McIntyre?
I know, like that.
In an absolute second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
beautiful.
I'm going through the roster of men here. Mm-hmm. And there's none of them's doing it for me.
No.
Not even a little bit.
No, not
it's
even.
It's a real shame. Look, I said probably the most recent example would be Old Man Edge. I do like Old Man Edge.
Yeah.
That rough looking beard and stuff does it for me. I don't know. No, having a look, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Which is a big shame.
Yes.
But one thing that is getting me excited is this Drew McIntyre thing, right? So it is bonkers cool. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm very excited to see WrestleMania, see him take on presumably Brock Lesnar. Yes. Unquestionably, Drew McIntyre's in my heart. I don't think he's quite like in my heart in the same way that like Sarah's in Ghost Heart or anything, but I'm ready. I'm ready to see him take that championship. I'm ready to see him run for a while. So I'm pretty excited. Where was I going? I had a segue set up and I lost it. Oh yeah, that's right. Brock Lesnar is the connecting piece here between Drew McIntyre and Rick O'Shea. So Rick O'Shea did have a match here tonight against Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was a little bit pissed off that he lost his shot last week for the WWE Championship at Super Showdown. So he then proceeded to want to kick the shit out of Ricochet.
Yep, to the point where he won't be able to make it to Super Showdown. Bobby Lashley will.
It didn't go that way at all.
No.
Not at all. As to be expected. Not
even with Lana there.
Ricochet did big old flippity doodah things and came out with the win in a awesome 630 on the back end there to get the win. He landed directly on Bobby's chest and kind of just bounced off, sat next to him, almost cross-legged, just leant back, gave him the pin. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful. Bobby Lashley. So, how do you think Ricochet will go at Super Showdown?
I don't know, because Ricochet was having an interview, which clearly would have been televised on the Titantron.
It was. You can hear the echo.
And yeah, the entire time he was doing that, the crowd were chanting Rusev Day. So I don't think anybody cares. So I don't think it's gonna fare
I think everyone
well.
knows that like it's not changing before now in Mania. It's not. There's no way. Like, look, it's awesome that Ricochet is getting a shot because once again, it's within a year and he is getting a championship opportunity. Granted, he is being sent in to fail, knowing that he will be taken out, which is a red hot shame. But it's when you're a man of flippity doodahs and you've got a man whose entire move is grabbing you out of the air and dropping you on your face, it's going to be a problem for Ricochet.
Yeah.
But, and the same problem for Bobby Lashley as well, because Bobby Lashley was trying to deliver a similar technique of trying to sort of bring the high flyer down, which didn't really land too well. And he did have Lana yapping on the side in her annoying ass voice. Speaking of Lana, though, Ghost Machine asks, where is Rusev? My understanding, kayfabe removal, is he's currently having contract disputes with the WWE. So in 2 or so years ago, Lana did re-sign for a 5-year deal. Rusev did not. And he's currently in negotiations. So in short, they won't televise him until he agrees, or if he agrees, or if they come to an agreement. And could also explain the being cheated on, emasculating story that they went for. It's probably the best way. Probably the only reason they really kind of went that way, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a bummer, but it is a shame. So like, it's good to see that this Bobby Lashley Lana storyline slowly closing down, and it's like a natural close as well, as hasn't been a hard stop. Like they are still associating with each other ringside and whatnot. It's still being addressed as her husband, but it's not being jammed in our throat holes like it has been.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is good. Ghost asks, are you telling me today is not Rusev Day? It is not Rusev Day.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, big old... I'm like, no. I don't know how else to say that. It's just, no. It's not Rusev Day, mate. It's just a big old shame for you. Let's have a quick squiz. Is there anything else we're missing here? Oh, yeah, we're missing this big old 6-man tag match. What'd I miss again?
Speaking of single names, Murphy.
Oh, shit. Fucking well done. Speaking of Murphy, we did have a 6-man tag match to close out the show. Wait, 6? 8-man tag match. It was everyone's involved. And my son's my son's jumped in. So.
Yes.
Hello, boy.
The Viking Raiders, AOP, Murphy, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins. Big old doors first before the match even starts. Everybody starts throwing everybody at break, come back, fighting. What a match.
Sorry, I'm just hanging out with my kid for a second. Hang on. Yeah, absolute banger of a match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was killer. It was good to see Samoa Joe back.
Yeah,
because the other
beautiful.
concern
especially
was
when he just jumped straight on Seth Rollins with that cocaine and clutch.
Oh yeah, because there was a bit
So
of
good.
because that was
Started
they
the
did
night.
open the show with Rollins in the middle chatting there, talking about being the Monday Night Messiah. And there's a bit of Kevin Owens comes out, yells at him, scuffle. As you mentioned, Joe comes in, chokes him the F out. Mad Dog in the chat goes, "It's Gem Day."
Yay!
Yes, it is.
Gem.
Mate,
Get my own yes
so
chance.
that's going to come right through on the mic there, mate. So my son's bought his Chase toothbrush in.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Player jumps in and goes, "His jacket though." And as that's true. Seth Rollins with his jacket, with his little like black tufts of little fur, his little fur, almost Bane-esque. So for those that don't remember, when Dean Ambrose was on his way out, they gave him a mask and they gave him this weird like Bane coat. So you know, maybe this is some weird parallel. They're like, who's bad? Bad people have coats with fluffy parts on them. That is what makes a man evil.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there, man. I fucking love heel Seth Rollins.
Oh, so do I. He's so much better.
Yes, mate. Pardon? Yeah, pulling you in. Sorry, my son's talking to me about chairs. Yes, he does. But yeah, so I'm loving heel Seth Rollins. It's absolutely fantastic. I think he's really kind of nailed this character, and by having the likes of the AOP behind him and Buddy Murphy, who's now been renamed to Murphy. Buddy, please. Has now been renamed to Murphy. There's a lot to go there, and they do create an impressive image within this little stable, which I do like. But let's address this Murphy situation. So it was announced over the weekend that his name has been shortened from Buddy Murphy to Murphy. Now I see this as perfectly reasonable when you have the likes of Akam, Razar, Murphy, and presumably Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. Like, it's going by the one name. Like, that's fine. And I think we may have mentioned it maybe last week. So maybe in SmackDown. Sorry, the idea of like all the disciples have always gone under one name. You know, John, Peter, Luke, whatever. Rupert. Not an actual disciple named Rupert. It works, and I think it adds. I think in time he'll have it back, just like Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
So that'd be very cool. So, what's your stance on it specifically? Are you cool with it?
I hate it because I hate the shortening of things. Like, obviously they did it with Mustafa Ali, just calling him Ali, which is a bit crap. Same with Andrade. Like, Andrade Cien Almas is not that hard to pronounce. Like, it's fun, it's different, but he just does Andrade. Like, it frustrates me when they do that. I know they're trying to do it for memorability's sake, but I think having a more unique name makes you more memorable.
And I think with a name like Buddy Murphy, like, which is a name that's not similar to anyone else on the roster.
Exactly.
Yes, mate. Okay. Sorry, mate. He's got himself comfy. He's sitting down. He's on the table. He's got a drink bottle. He's not going anywhere.
But the days of single name personas, like, Edge and things like that,
Diesel
are gone. Like, yeah, exactly. That it's not a thing that we do anymore. Like, wrestlers these days are more truly their genuine selves. So they keep their own names or a unique name. Like, like it's yeah, I don't know. I really don't like it. I think we should embrace the uniqueness of individuals' names, and if they want to have a persona, you can have a persona. That's rad. Like, we love that. Like, the Fiend is the Fiend, and Bray Wyatt is Bray Wyatt. That's really cool if you've got that persona that's something different to who you are. But don't, just calling like Bray Wyatt when he's doing the Mr. Rogers stuff, the Fiend is not.
I do think. I would have preferred Buddy.
Yeah,
because I think
Buddy too.
Like, when your first name is Buddy, similar to our good friend Buddy Watson, it's a ripper first name. Like, and there are some people where their last names are more interesting than their first, and therefore they get referred to by their surname. Like myself, Ryan, very common name. Betson, not so much. And it's a good sharp word. Betson is a sharp word, so there's many, many people that just call me Betson. And, it works. Like Murphy works, but it's all, I'm pretty sure Murphy can also be a
Buddy
first
would be
name too.
better.
If it was just Buddy, I think that would be because you know,
and it still keeps an Australianism to it too.
Hang on. Yes, buddy. Okay, can you please go with mummy? Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Love you. Speaking of buddies, holy crap. But yeah, so like Murphy is also this weird. It is weirdly almost like a first name, so it's that real tough line. It doesn't quite have like even like the Akam and Razar are like rad names. It's a weird tough balance. Very, very tough balance. But I personally, I ain't too phased. I ain't too mad, as they would say. Let's have a look at the chat. They've chucked some things in. Ghost wished that we had more Roland's weasel laughs.
All right.
That'd be pretty cool. If he can add that to his repertoire as the bad guy, be much appreciated. Dolph Ziggler, when his real name is Nick Nemeth, is badass. Always continue wide naming side of things with WWE. There is a reason for that. If you wrestle under that name with WWE, they could, unless you previously owned the trademark to that name, they will then take it. So that's the exact same reason that we see Cody be Cody over anywhere else, where he was Cody Rhodes at WWE, but he can only be Cody everywhere else because he does not have the ability to go under the name Cody Rhodes. So if you were known as using in the chat like Ryback as an example, you cannot be Ryback anywhere else. Like Edge, right? Like Edge was Edge. If apparently he was talking to AEW, if he went to AEW, he would not be Edge.
No, John Morrison in Lucha Underground was Johnny Mundo.
Another example is R-Truth. So R-Truth's real name, Ron Killings. That's a fucking awesome name.
Yeah.
Why aren't you like Ron Killings? Because it's smarter to not use your name. Like Drew McIntyre, Drew Galloway. Like it's smart to be able to at least still have the right to your own name.
Yes.
Where are we going with that?
I do not
Man,
know.
today has been like tangenty and airheaded and distracted by a child. It's been an absolute chaos show today. Absolute chaos show.
Oh, we were just discussing Murphy's name change.
Oh, that's right, because we were heading into the 8-man tag match, finally.
Yes.
Run with this for me, Jem, please.
Yeah. So... Yeah. Sorry, my brain just shut off as well.
It's been this whole time, my whole night. It's been in phase.
Yeah, like I said before, match started with a bit of a duzz on before the bell even rang, and then go to an ad break and come back, and the match is on, and a hell of a match it is. In the end, Murphy does get the pin on Samoa Joe with some help from his team. So Samoa Joe gets Buddy Murphy in the Coquina clutch, and Akam and Reza try to jump in, and Buddy Murphy starts tapping, but the referee's pushing him out so he can't see him. While this is happening, Seth Rollins comes in with a big old stomp on Joe. Buddy Murphy and Joe collapse. The referee turns around to see Buddy Murphy pinning 1, 2, 3. The Messiah and his disciples with the win.
My absolute favorite moment of this entire match is where Kevin Owens gets on top of the ring post and then proceeds to like cannonball off the top of it into pretty much everyone except Seth.
Area,
But the way because he does a front flip, he proceeds to land ass first onto Razor's face and then almost wipes his ass, ball to like tailbone Razor's face. As he lands, I'm like, oh, there's so much butt in his face. Favorite part of the whole match because there's a lot of sweaty crotch area in that, and understandably in that match. But no, this is awesome. Like, I do think we're hitting a point of where the story of this is running out of legs.
Yes.
But everyone involved in this delivers a ripper match. So if you're if you're in the more wrestling side of Raw, then you're getting something good here. But if you want more of the story stuff, we're starting to get on repeat here. And I don't know whether they're treading water to get somewhere else because I don't know what the next step is for them. Like they can keep doing variants of this. We'll get Buddy versus someone, or Murphy versus someone, and all these little random offshoots of this 8 people. But where does it end to? Like, where does it go from here? Yeah. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have anything where this may go? Because I got nothing.
I don't either.
Because the only way I can see it ending is if there is a turn by someone on someone, whether it be Joe on Kevin, or I don't think anyone within Seth Rollins' disciples will be doing it anytime soon. So it would have to be on the good guys. There'd have to be something for them to lose the tag team championship, for them to go back on AOP at some point.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There are ways that can go, but getting there is the difficult part, I'm seeing.
Yeah. I agree.
Very much so. Let me just have a quick look. Have we covered everything in the show tonight?
Yeah, we have.
I think we have. Because this was a pretty damn solid episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Like I said, I left this one a little bit close to the line. But I watched it and I enjoyed pretty much all of it. I compared to SmackDown, as we discussed on Monday or Tuesday for those listening to the podcast, I was barely paying attention, absolutely barely paying attention. Where this had me engaged the whole way through, even with you knew they'll blow off matches like Street Profits, like Aleister Black. There was still enough charm, charisma, or skill in it to keep you engaged.
Yeah.
Using our old rating gem of the Kurt Angles, where do you think this one sits?
Oh, look, I think it was pretty good overhaul. I'd give it a...
The 2 Kurt Angles! Woo! I agree with that. I front to back, I enjoyed the fuck out of it, man. Like with Shayna and Ripley, and just like looking at the blurred lines between all these 3 shows is absolutely amazing. And I really think we're going to get better products because of it. I really like it. And Matt, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I said yes, crust, yeah.
And Mad Dog in the chat goes, Raw's been sold the last few weeks. That it has. It has really stepped out as the A show once again.
Yeah.
It's been a big change. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick chat. There's no direct dirt sheet this week. There's nothing of note that's standing out. If I remember a couple bit of news stories that come out this week, the Revival are receiving their last contract offer. They've been denying them for the last couple of months, but this is the last one. So if they say no to this, then they're out at the end of their contract and presumably go on AEW. Because that's the big thing. John Cena will be attending SmackDown this week.
He will.
I'm sure you and your, 15-year-old heart is melting already.
Yeah.
Beating profusely.
Very much. Can't tell if it's an anxiety attack or if I'm in love.
Could be both. Sometimes it's both.
Could be both. Maybe it's both. Why not both?
Dash comes in with a quick correction. Not this week, 28th. So that is the SmackDown post Super Showdown. There we go. But one thing that is happening within the next week is, as I mentioned at the start of the show, we are doing an NXT TakeOver special episode. It's NXT TakeOver Portland, and I will be joined by a good friend of the show, Ghost in the Machine. He'll be coming to a one-off show because Jem gets the night off. She doesn't have to think about NXT. She can go and do all her Jem things, hanging out, sleeping, thinking about John Cena. Think about John Cena and Ruby Riott at the same time. Ooh, what a night that would be.
Oof.
I don't know about you. I'm damn already. But that was our Raw breakdown and analysis. It came to you on a Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. I did see little Jem's hashtag symbols there. That's hashtag Raw Anal for those of you playing at home. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Instagram. All those links to the socials are in the down below area. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, just like a good selection of wonderful folks have, that's including Ghost in the Machine. That includes Dash. That includes Champion Gamer, Steven, Mad Dog. Excellent group of people to come and chat wrestling with, because we do have a pre-show, we do have a post-show. We kind of just sit here and bullshit with you all. It's good fun to sort of connect with everyone, the people that do consume our podcasts. I love it very much. while you're on Twitch, be sure to give us a follow. That way you get to see when we do record this show, as well as our SmackDown, as well as our NXT big special, as well as pay-per-views, games, and our other show for the players, the Pop Culturist PlayStation Podcast. If you want to support us financially, head over to patreon.com/thepopculturist. Support us at any little tier there. It's up to you. No rewards at the moment. It's just something you might do out of the kindness of your heart. If you want to support us in more one-off fashion, thepopculturist.com/shop. Shirts, other sort of shit, logos on it, all well and good. If you are listening to us on a podcast service, be sure to download it. Click the little auto download button. Give it a 5-star rating. Give it a big old love heart. Tell us in the review why this show is slightly above average. And be sure to tell your friends. Get everyone in on the power that is the young and the restless. Like, share, retweet. Come harass us on Twitter, man. We do so much dumb shit on Twitter. Yeah. It's good fun. Jemmy's good at the tweets. That's all I'm saying. She's pretty good at it.
Thanks.
But until we talk SmackDown, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Jem.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
The Young and the Restless, the Pop Culturist WWE podcast, is fan support over at Patreon at patreon.com/thepopculturist. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders: Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers: AJ Abatomi, Damian Holdies, Kyle Dunn, Lee Wintershoven, Nathan Massetti, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.